How about that? I'm unmuted. Anyway, hi, Scott. Yes, thank you on the MathPig thing. I was a little disconnected yesterday, so no, I just interrupted myself, which is pretty cool, actually, when you do that. I was a little disconnected. I wanted to talk a little bit more about anti-theism, and never quite got around to it. But there were a lot of neat topics that you can cover in relation to atheism and meaning and life and death and stuff like that. Stuff that we are often thrown into unexpectedly, obviously. So and I got a little bit answered some of the questions about the event that's happened to me with my daughter. So hopefully we can move on. Let's see. So yesterday, Standing for Truth he's still spewing out an amazing amount of content, and have not had a chance to catch up with it. Also, Maddox is back with a vengeance, and he is spewing talking points, as he puts it. Now, the interesting thing is the definition of a talking point is something that I would bring up in the expectation that we were going to have a conversation or an argument. So that's what a talking point is. But John apparently doesn't understand what a talking point is. He thinks it's like a platitude that, a scientist will throw out. And it's his favorite expression lately is atheists are spewing talking points. And, just every time he uses a word, it's facepalm situation. Like when he uses the word premise, when he actually means fact, it is a premise that it's just, my God. Anyway, I think I've got a little tiny clip here to have a conversation about. I was hoping Immutable would join me, but I think his connection is bad. We're going to try to share a screen. And like I say, I think this is going to be short today. Hugh Ross quote astronomers. Okay. Let's see. Response, Standing for Truth. Okay. I think I got it. So this is on a Praise I Am stream. And this is Double Dumb. Joel and Maddox at the same time actually speaking together. So let's see what we got here. Let me know if you can hear that.
In that context, I think like Hugh Ross, the astrophysicist. I mean, for him, it all boils down to the distant starlight problem, and therefore, him and the majority of the old Earthers, not all, but a significant percentage of them, they are forced to try and, in the attempt to justify the old Earth, most of them have to adopt some portion of evolutionary theory, like not necessarily abiogenesis, but some.
Now, the way he phrases that, in an attempt to justify an old Earth, that isn't how we got to an old Earth. We got to an old Earth through multiple sources of evidence, right? I mean, a lot of cross-connecting forms of evidence. Hi, Lena. Still trying to figure out whether you're an old Earther or a young Earther. Maybe you could tell me in chat. Anyway, so we have all this cross-connecting evidence. Nobody is trying to justify an old Earth. Nobody is trying to force deep time down your throat. Nobody is finding for deep time in order to justify evolution. That isn't how it goes. We found for deep time, and evolution is completely disconnected from that. Anyway, let's see what
variation of theistic evolution usually, or different stages. I think like Fuzz, he is more of a God interacts at specific points, like abiogenesis, punctuated equilibrium, those different.
Now that's interesting. Punctuated equilibrium. The only way John can imagine for it to happen, apparently, is with If God did it, if God got his fingers in there and suddenly created a new species here and there, to kind of fill in his repertoire of interesting species that we should have on Earth to look at. But punctuated equilibrium is not like that at all. That is a weird dismissal of gold and punctuated equilibrium. Just wanted to point that out.
Stages, or the different stages of punctuated equilibrium. That's God's direct insertion into,
God's direct insertion. Think about that for a while.
Elements and such. So I mean, like, okay, that's fine. But again, going back to the whole aspect of if the distant starlight problem is removed from the equation, then all of the other arguments collapse, and then everything about young Earth is the evidence is 100% young Earth's favor.
Okay, I got to push back on that a little bit. Let's see, if the distant starlight problem, I didn't know there was a problem, is removed from the equation, then all of the evidence points at young Earth creationism. That's a pretty bold statement. I'd like to see it back that fucking thing up. It would take quite a bit of work to back that one up. Now, they're talking about the things that Standing for Truth has been doing on Starlight. I can't remember who the talking head he had on was exactly. Very little knowledge of dating methods, speed of light. Cell is my witness. My position is that humanity is young. The rest is not being. Oh, good. Yeah, I think that's a viable position. We could work with that, Lena. Anyway, let's see what else he had to say.
Right.
So
now,
my favorite quote from Hugh Ross was in his book Creator and the Cosmos from 1993. He says, "Astronomers who do not draw theistic or deistic conclusions are becoming rare, and even the few dissenters hint that the tide is against them." Jeffrey Burbidge of the University of California, San Diego, complains that his fellow astronomers are rushing off to join the First Church of Christ of the Big Bang.
Okay, I didn't have time to investigate that. But first of all, I don't give a flying fuck what Hugh Ross says in one of his books from 1993. So appeal to authority denied, because Hugh Ross is obviously some kind of creationist. And what I haven't looked into Jeffrey Burbidge of the University of California, who complains that astronomers are rushing off to join the First Church of Christ of the Big Bang in 1993. So I'm guessing if they were rushing off in 1993, now 27 years later, we wouldn't have any atheist astronomers left. Is that kind of what they're saying? I think we need to fact check some of that. Just for the hell of it. Don't date creationists. The dating methods only work with dead things. Right. Yeah, we can't do carbon dating on Lena. Sorry.
Well, last year
that was a nice weird laugh.
I had the opportunity
to talk to some
astrophysicists, and I was on college campus a couple times for about a month and a half, and I decided to go invade and have some conversations with some astrophysicists. And
I remember when I invaded I took a logic course, and I invaded my logic professor's space in his office to have a conversation with him. And I'm guessing if John Maddox had invaded my logic professor's space, he would have tossed him out on his ass or dismissed him within 5 minutes. I can't imagine that too many astrophysicists had long, involved conversations with John. But, maybe, who knows? They do try to be polite. Normally, they have office hours for their students. They don't let just anybody walk in off the street and start chatting with them, but who knows?
One of the things that was extraordinarily fascinating to me was, did y'all know that until I want to say it was 2014, we were actually only being able to see about 2,000 light years.
Yeah.
And now,
I don't know what the fuck they're talking about. talking about visible light telescopes, and not radio telescopes and all the other instruments that we've had for certainly longer than 2000 or 2014. I don't know what he's talking about, but now he's going to make the claim that we imagine everything about the universe except for within a space of 2,000 light years. And I'd like to see you back that one up.
They're up to, at least from their perspective, about, I think it was 14,000.
Depends on which frequencies, yeah, but yeah, it's extreme.
And I was like, well, that's very fascinating. So we've been being given a whole boatload
of talking points,
very deep, like we're seeing billions and billions of light years away. I'm like, hang on, you're telling me that the equipment you guys have actually doesn't do that? And so you're actually doing a hell of a lot of inference.
Yep, we made it all up.
Not actual observation.
Nope. Made it all up.
He freely admitted it. I mean, this was like a high level PhD, and he actually specialized in like far away stuff. And he's like, "Oh yeah, we actually don't see that far away."
Right.
And I didn't go I didn't drill him on it because I wanted to actually continue the conversation. But I'm sitting there thinking like, I'm in the office of a well respected, well published astrophysicist who just freely admitted to me that they don't see anywhere.
Oh my God, these admissions by scientists. I mean, it's horrible. The court of law of creationists have grilled these scientists, and they've admitted that it has to be God. It just must be God. That's kind of a little meme that pops up over and over again. It's kind of ridiculous. And there was some other stuff here. We are at 15. We zipped ahead.
All right. I believe he's addressed it. All of this stuff boils down to either the synchrony convention is not is either how we view the speed of light being 186,000 and whatever it is miles per second, or it's not. Right? Like either it's limited to that or it's not. And if it's not, then the vast majority of the arguments that are raised are literally not relevant to all of this. I mean, they just completely, the barriers leave the building.
Anyway, okay, so the one-way speed of light thing, like light travels from the star instantaneously, which would violate pretty much all of physics as we know it if it went faster than the speed of light. And I believe that is a geometrical calculation more than anything else. And then it saunters back slowly. Like when it's on the way, like, okay, if we try to measure the speed of light, we have a mirror and a laser. When we shoot it at the laser, it gets there instantly, much faster than the maximum speed of light. And then on the way back, what happens? Does it stop at the convenience store? Does it, decide to do its toenails? What the hell do the photons do on the way back that makes them speed differently than they went on the way there? I don't quite get it. And we're talking about very small variations in the speed of light when we go through a vacuum or through a medium or whatever. Anyway, I'm not a physicist, but I would fact check all these crazy ass things that they've just recently come up with. Now, it's interesting that Standing for Truth gets one of his failed PhDs who started writing books and working for the Creation Institute. And he produces a video, and then we have to deal with it for the next 3 months. So this one-way speed of light thing came up a couple of weeks ago, and now we're going to have to fucking deal with it for the next, 6 months? And I don't know. Anyway, that's about all I got, guys. I really did not prepare much more. I've been sort of busy with legal matters, and That's probably going to continue for a little while, but I just wanted to get on at least start trying to do a stream again. And let's see, I could freeform talk about some of the things that I missed on MathPig's channel last night. Hi, MathPig. You're here from work. Fortunately, wonderful. I think I saw that one, or at least I had that video, but I have not watched it yet. We are going to do a hangout with Cel Cordova, Immutable, maybe Leo, and I at 9:30 p.m. tonight on Cel Cordova's channel. And we're going to be talking about quantum mechanics as much as we can, or trying to figure some things out. And that should be interesting, seeing as how I know very little. Cel's taken a course. Immutable knows a bit. We'll see. Yeah, that's tonight, Lena. And it is on Reasons, and let's see, what is Cel's channel? Let me link that. Hi, Jay. How about that? Hey, you here?
Hey, how's it going?
Bail me out because I've run out of shit.
Actually, yeah, I noticed you were talking about that stream from Praise's channel from yesterday, and
yes,
they were John Maddox and Joel were talking about some quote unquote sciencey stuff, and I was just like, I am not learning goddamn thing from you guys at all. There was nothing there of any value other than the confirmation bias of, well, this is all just got to be from God.
Yeah,
this is pretty much the crux of the entire thing. It was just like all this long-winded babble that just tries to get, especially when they started talking about evolution again and why it's just it's a complete fake, and and I'm like
they
so of course
I
had to poke the bear a little bit just in the live chat, and then of course Joel sees my comment. Oh, there's Jay picking a fight again. I'm like, really, dude? Really? He's like, Christianity teaches us to all be equals, and teaches us that we're equals and we're all precious in the eyes of God. I'm like, why don't you tell that to fucking Smokey? Idiot.
Yeah, that Smokey thing is still going on. Kind of. Does he have any friends left, Smokey? Nicholas.
Yeah, he's got a few. I haven't seen Ryan on there in a while, but I haven't really done a whole lot when it comes to those guys, because I just sit back and watch them eat each other.
Yeah. So why hasn't John Maddox been hanging out with Smokey lately?
I think it's because he just saw a difference of. I think he's kind of like on Tangelo, regardless of whatever they disagree with Joel about, they still see him as a brother in Christ. Whereas Smokey, it's pretty much, you got that whole section of the Bible wrong. Fuck you, get out of my face, heathen. That kind of thing.
Yeah.
I think that's pretty much it. It's at that point you're just getting into like drag level. Like you're getting into drags territory where you're just going to just stir up drama.
Right.
You're just going to review this shit for the actual, just for the lulz kind of thing.
I saw that. What the hell? Oh, I lost my train of thought. Go on.
I hate it when that happens.
Oh, it's been happening to me so much lately. I'm becoming quite concerned. I don't know.
There was a video that Smokey did yesterday. And I thought I thought about reviewing it because it would be like me reviewing a person reviewing another video,
right?
Reviewing another person. So it's kind of that, that Inception-esque kind of thing. But what I thought was funny about it is that it shows how much both sides are chewing on each other.
Yeah.
Because you hear this argument. So it's from Praise's. I guess it was from Praise's stream on Thanksgiving, and they are having a biblical discussion, and it's standing for truth and Joel having a disagreement. And of course, you can hear Joel's wife in the background, and she's piping in. And so, of course, Smokey has got to call her choice words like this bombastic bovine, blah 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 blah.
Right.
And so I'm just sitting there, and I realized that while I'm sitting there and I'm listening for about 20 minutes at work, and I'm listening to Smokey give his quote unquote review of this, he's not talking about. Very rarely do I ever hear him actually talk about the substance
Right.
of the topic. He's just talking about those people.
Yeah. So
That's it.
I tuned in here and there trying to figure out what the hell they're disagreeing about exactly. And it's really hard to find some actual content where they're actually talking about the Trinity disagreement. And it just, and then every now and then they will dive into biblical passages, but that doesn't help me. I'd like somebody to succinctly tell me what in the fuck they're talking about.
I think they disagree. They disagree on. Let me think. I might have this wrong. I think it has something to do with Joel thinks that it's not, once you're saved, you can lose salvation, right? So you're not once saved, always saved, kind of thing.
Okay.
And Standing for Truth disagrees with the idea that you can lose salvation, because Standing for Truth thinks that by saying that, it makes it look like salvation is something that you can gain.
Okay.
But salvation isn't something that you can gain. It's something that you accept that free gift, right? Because that's what I've had a conversation with Standing for Truth about that on a live chat, and he shut the fuck up. It was amazing how quiet he got when I started asking questions that a 4-year-old would ask.
Right.
That might concern them a little bit. Like, okay, if it's a free gift, what do I have to do? Well, you don't have to do anything. You have to believe. Believing on anything? I'm believing, right? Is that not doing something? And what are you talking about? I'm like, am I making a conscious choice? Or am I just accepting the gift, right? If somebody leaves a gold bar at my front house, I can either accept it, I can either pick it up, or I can give it away, or I can do nothing with it. But if I accept it, I can go out, I just pick it up. There's no thought, I'm going to probably have a test to make sure it's actually real. But I take it in, and then, okay, think somebody's going around giving out free gold bars. And you sit it down. You don't have to do jack shit. But you get into a conversation with Standing for Truth, Daniel Spitsky, all these guys, and you go, do I need to do anything? Well, yeah, now you're a follower of Jesus. I'm like, why do I need to follow anyone? You said it was a free gift, and they get all, that confuses the shit out of them.
Right.
It's like, it's free with conditions. Oh, so it's not actually really free. It's like getting the free toaster at a bank. You open up, deposit $50 into a new checking account, you'll get a free toaster. That kind of shit.
I remember where I lost my train of thought. I asked Nicholas a few questions about a child's understanding of the Trinity. And I was asking him basically, is if you have a 3-year-old, a toddler, is this toddler going to go to heaven or hell? Because the toddler, or like say a 4 or 5-year-old that has heard about Jesus, right? And then
I remember I was there for that.
You were there.
He wasn't doing so well with that one.
Yeah, what the hell? He responded, if the toddler accepts the Messiah, then he's saved. Otherwise, he's not. And I'm like, what in the fuck are you talking about? Because what if the toddler is a heretic and and thinks, and gets the Trinity wrong, right? That's where I was going with it.
Yeah, I think the problem is that because Nicholas has such a piss poor understanding of epistemology, that you're dealing with a young child that's not initiated. They're just learning about the world, right? So they're uninitiated in a lot of claims. They're learning all sorts of things, and they're experiencing things. Yeah, when you get into a conversation with someone like Nicholas, I think it's funny that you brought up kids, considering his aversion to the movie Cuties.
Nice. It probably confused his Willie again when he started thinking about children. He tends to get confused.
Yeah, he jumped on somebody calling somebody a pedo, or not him, but Smokey did. I said, man, you're quick to jump on calling people pedos. So I said, you been watching Cuties again?
Yeah, it's on his mind. It's on his mind.
It's always on my mind.
Oh, man, such a terrible thing. Anyway, the whole thing, it's just like the infighting is amazing. And Smokey, I don't know if he did this whole thing on purpose. Did he set all of us up? Because first of all, he had the Adopt an Atheist plan with me and Immutable. That's when he had about 100 subs, right? And then he throws us under the bus, and then he throws like one atheist after another under the bus. Except for Dave. Yeah. And then
except for David Neff. Yep.
Yeah, except for David. But I think eventually David doesn't hang out with him anymore either. So I don't know what happened there. But anyway, so then he starts throwing Christians under the bus one after another.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just like, what? Did he fucking plan all this?
Well, I just like the video. I don't know if he planned it or if it's just by happen. I think it's by happenstance. I think it's just evolving over time because of his wonderful personality. Because I asked him a question that he never responded to on Praise's comment thread, one of Praise's channels, the one with that hairy tick on it. And I asked him because he used to always get on. Smokey would get on Doubting Thomas.
Yeah.
For being a pothead. He's like, you loser pothead, typical Smokey banter. And of course, Doubting Thomas, he's learned to handle Smokey with flying colors. And dance for me, Smokey. Dance for me. Which is absolutely funny to watch Doubting Thomas just piss out of Smokey. But the best thing is that when we see the video, when that video came out of him on camera, of Smokey on camera talking to Sister Sunshine, I think some people commented on the baseball cap. Some people said, "Oh, I think that's a woman's baseball cap." Whatever. what I thought was interesting was the logo on it. So I went back and I looked at the logo of the ball cap, and it's called Curvana. That's the logo that's on that ball cap. They make THC cartridges.
Oh man.
Here in California.
Okay.
They're either from Oregon or California, either way. But yeah, they make the vape cartridges, CBD and THC vape cartridges.
What an interesting fashion choice.
Yeah, I was like, so I said, you seem to like, I asked him that in the comment thread. I said, you seem to like Curvana products. And then crickets. Nothing.
Nice.
Nothing.
Yeah. Interesting. That is interesting.
Yep. I'm like, I said that. So that's why I call him. Jeff was trying to figure out. On Jeff's channel. They were trying to narrow down who Smokey Saint, who he kind of reminds him of, like in celebrities. And yeah. Jeff was bringing up Ted Levine, and I'm like, Ted Levine from Silence of the Lambs. It puts the lotion on its skin.
Yeah.
And I said, no, it's Ted Levine meets Seth Rogen. That annoying laugh.
Yeah, yeah, and he didn't have that laugh. He had like a normal laugh. The Rage pointed out in the video. I'm not sure. Very interesting.
His laugh was the same. His laugh was the same in that video.
Was it? Okay.
Oh yeah, on Sister Sunshine. Yeah, it was the same.
I don't think I watched the whole clip. I watched the whole clip.
Yeah, they're more. It's more subtle in Sister Sunshines. I think he does exaggerate it a little bit, but
Interesting that he admitted to losing like 100 pounds, and then he was doing some basically shaming of overweight people. And
yeah.
Interesting. Yep. All very interesting. The internet has a goddamn memory, and people need to get used to that fact.
Yeah. Well.
I mean, you can't all of a sudden go on and start just shooting your mouth off and pretending you're something that you're not, because you can go back and look at the history. Like if like John Maddox has talked about his radio show, and if you go back and listen to his radio show, it doesn't jive with his story of conversion, and he doesn't seem to care about that or notice it.
But wait, when did he become converted? I don't know enough about. I don't know. Well, it's not that I don't know enough. It's that I haven't even looked.
He claims to be raised devout. I think he came over from England in about 2000 or something like that. And then he made like when he was like around 20, he made a deal with God that in 10 years he would come back to God, but he was going to go out and party hardy for 10 years.
So a decade-long Rumspringer kind of thing.
yeah, exactly. So anyway, but he forgot to come back, so God reminded him by trying to kill him with an aneurysm. And the way he talks about that story, I don't believe most of it. I don't believe. I would have to see the medical report. Anyway. So he claims that
it could have just been all the partying that he did. There's things that you can do when you're partying that can contribute to things like that. So
this is a fact. But anyway, so he came back at around 30, and he claims to have converted after that aneurysm, that he was like living in his mom's basement because he got totally wasted, in business and stuff. And he came back after the aneurysm, and he kind of talks about having a conversion right then because the aneurysm reminded him, of his promise to God. But now if you go and listen to his goddamn podcasts, he says that the aneurysm caused him to become an entrepreneur. So wait a minute, did it cause you to become an entrepreneur, or did it cause you to become a devout Christian?
Well, I know the apologetic to that. Well, okay. It caused me to go back to God, but at the same time, it benefited me to become this entrepreneur. Now I'm successful, so now God is blessing me for coming back to Him. Unlike before, when I was just a heathen partying it up.
Yeah, but when they interview him, he doesn't say a damn thing about God or any kind of conversion. I suppose that's fair. The two things could have happened together, but it just doesn't jive. And then I think he talks about like his recently, it's 4 years ago that he was still doing this entrepreneur thing. And then all of a sudden he's doing a YouTube thing and driving an Uber. And he's admitted all that too. So I don't know. It doesn't make any fucking sense.
Well, Uber is, that's how entrepreneurship starts.
Oh,
Uber.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean,
they
have it right there. You want to be your own entrepreneur? Join us at Uber.
Yeah, there's Uber weed delivery. There's Uber call girl delivery.
Uber food. There's Uber food now.
Oh yeah, Uber food too.
Or Uber delivery or food delivery or whatever. Or Uber, is it dine-in? Something like that. Anyway.
Oh. Yep. Uber must be hurting because I won't get in one of those goddamn things.
They are very... Uber and Lyft are very handy apps to have when you're in like San Francisco.
Oh, hell yeah.
So, because, sometimes you can walk San Francisco, but that's a big city to walk. So,
right. Well, when you're in Minneapolis too, because they decided to embark upon a 5-year construction project to change the exits and the entrances to Minneapolis. So along with that, you never know when you're going to run into 6,000 protesters on the freeway. Best to take an Uber.
They just need to make an elevated subway system so people can just ride over the top of the city and then just drop down from chutes and stuff.
Yeah, if they convince the protesters not to go there too, because they could protest in both spots.
Love you, hug.
So, I don't know. Anyway,
I love you.
John.
I love you. Love you too.
Well, hello.
Hello, John. How are you feeling?
John. I thought it was for a minute there. I thought it was John Maddox. I was like, oh man, his ears were ringing and he joined. That's awkward.
John
I have too many brain cells to be John Maddox.
John does not have he doesn't have the cojones to come on my channel.
Oh snap!
He doesn't have enough cojones because apparently you need them.
Were you guys there at the beginning of last night's stream?
Praise?
No.
You mean praise?
No, he's talking about Rages.
Oh no.
No, I missed it.
He showed up.
Oh, I did go back and I watched that. Yeah, he porn bombed the channel.
Oh, he did?
Yeah, he porn bombed. Yeah.
So
well, technically the dick was blurred out, but
oh God, I gotta watch who I let on the Saturday Night at the Atheist.
Well, so Mock had said he was going to make it unlisted and find that section and cut it out, but he said he went and looked at it last night and you can't see anything. So It's this picture of TJ Kirk he's been putting up all over the place where TJ Kirk is sitting somewhere naked and looks like he's like pouring hot wax on his balls or something. I don't know.
I'm like,
that's just. And then when people say we're not related to monkeys, look at that.
Right.
Look at what that person's doing right there.
And then like, well, no, I mean, I would think that a monkey would have the good sense not to pour hot wax on its balls. But anyway,
that's kind of the point. You can kind of take it either way that you want, but yeah.
I mean, the other thing like we started up the stream and Knox said, "Oh, look who's in the chat, Brett Keane," and I had a few choice words for him. I don't even really remember. I mean, I think I basically called him stupid or something, and I used the manatee, thing.
Oh yeah, he got a little. Yeah, he kind of came in there with He kind of came in there like you were persona non grata there, John.
Well, right, yeah, because I was talking shit about him for about 90 seconds before he came in, and then he came in, he goes, doing all this fucking, like. I mean, it's something I was going to mention last night after he left, and I didn't get a chance. Let me say it on Speed's channel to get him in trouble. But Brett Keane did a stream recently where he was talking about his days of being on TJ Kirk's channel, and he made the statement
that... You're taking it with you?
Yeah, there's 3 more in here.
Sorry, guys. I'm sorry.
So he made the statement that every time he appeared on TJ Kirk's channel, that TJ was giving him $1,000 per episode.
What?
What?
Yeah, that's what I said.
Oh, well, what are you going to do?
And then here's the thing, like the other thing, not to air all my laundry here on Speed. That's why I come over here, just to shit on Speed stream. And
great, I like it.
But so, like in those rooms, we, when there's a bunch of people in there, we use that thing where you put your hand up and get in line. But we also instituted, like, if you have a quick comment to make on what's being talked about right now, jump in and just say, hey, real quick, take a couple seconds. But so at any rate, and me and Knock, we don't have to raise our hands. And of all the rooms we have, me and Knock talk the least of anybody that's ever there. Okay, especially Knock. I talk more than Knock. But so, like, when we have something to say, or if somebody, like Otangelo's in there and he says something that is just patently false, I'm not going to let you keep going.
Right.
We're going to address that issue right now, because I'm not going to let you throw 30 fucking pieces of spaghetti against the wall, and then we'll go back and decide which one stuck,
Yep.
And so Leo was going off about something, and I asked him a question. Well, then Otangelo gets a turn, and he's going in on me. Oh, look, man, I think you are interrupting people too much. I explained, and I said, well, look, Otangelo, me and Knock don't have to fucking raise our hands when we want to jump in, and I don't give a fuck if you so I don't even remember what I said, and then he was gone. I was like, I don't really give a fuck whether you care, that I'm jumping in to talk to somebody, and then he just left.
Otangelo is very easy to offend. I've offended him by just disagreeing with him, and he's like, I don't know. He interrupted basically everyone. Okay, Otangelo's here. Hi, Otangelo. Anyway,
Otangelo, you're a little whiny bitch, dude.
That's weird. That's weird, because he was like on a stream with Nicholas Whitmire for hours. I can't do that with Nicholas. Well, Nicholas won't let me.
I can't quite decipher this. My God, Otangelo swore. Holy shit, John. You must have really got under his skin.
You give a ********.
And I don't come in again easy. You give a fuck and I don't come in again. I don't know. That doesn't make sense, Otangelo.
I could not care less about your opinion, because I am the smartest man in the world.
Smartest.
I am so smart that my smarts have smart.
You guys.
Yeah.
Angelo's waking up in the morning. Oh, let's see who's insulting me today.
Hey, Otangelo, I would pay good money he would dress up like Mike Myers from 1990s Saturday Night Live in the tight black outfit, and then just get in front of the camera and go, "Now it's the time on Sprockets that we dance."
Now it's time on Sprockets when we dance.
Okay, let's say something nice about Otangelo. He does seem to consistently at least not do what Smokey does. I mean, he kind of consistent. Yeah, he's consistent about not.
I mean, he got a lot of love from other people, in the room,
Yeah.
They, he's reasonable most of the time.
I've never only talked to Otangelo on a couple occasions, but I've found him to be fine to talk to. I don't really have a problem with him, but I call him the European or the Brazil. Well, I know he's originally from I think he's Swiss, but I know he lives down in Brazil or something, in South America or something like that. But either way, so I think I call him the Brazilian, Brazilian true empiricism.
Otangelo and in particular Sal Cordova are extremely consistent and cordial, and they don't get into the bullshit. Yeah. And I kind of appreciate that about both of them. So,
well, Otangelo stepped into it with Nicholas and Smokey. Holy shit!
Did he get mad?
I mean, like I said, I don't even remember what particular it was, but Otangelo got his turn, and then he jumped in, and within the first two sentences, he was saying something that was just like patently false. It was just totally wrong. So that's when I interrupted him to clarify, and he didn't like that. He wants to be able to get his 5-10 minute diatribe in without anybody commenting, and that's just not the way it's going to work.
Yeah, he does the gallop like standing for truth, except he gallops really slow.
Yeah.
the gallop. Slow gish gallop.
But what's Brazil have to do with it? Otangelo lives in Brazil?
Huh? He lives in Brazil.
Oh, he does?
Yeah, he lives in Brazil.
Isn't Brazil where all the Nazis went after the war?
Yep.
Yeah, Argentina and stuff like that.
Is this a clue?
Yeah, I'm just wondering. Maybe.
Jesus, John.
No. I mean, he lives in Brazil. Maybe he's the offspring or the grandchild of. I don't know.
Well, we could pull the threads together just like they do for creationism. We could, find a few talking points and pull it together and make a case for where we're going with this. I don't know.
Possibly.
I don't think we should.
I'm a prima donna. I'm a prima donna.
Yeah. I like calling you Jello Otangelo because your name is goddamn hard to type. And I keep putting a J for the G. And I think Jello is kind of a term of endearment. I don't know. It's not an insult. It's just a nice, right?
So you say.
No, really, come on. Would I make up a name, that insults people? I mean, have you ever seen me do that?
I don't know.
Here, I changed my avatar just for Otangelo.
That's fine.
Is that what you looked like when you weren't feeling well the other day?
Yeah. That's I Ralphed all over my chest, and the horns came out of my head. And
yeah, you didn't have the Rona, did you?
Say that again.
You didn't have the Rona, did you?
I'm pretty sure I did, a few months back.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, and then the thing is so they're saying, well, go here and get tested. And I'm like, fuck that. I don't feel like going nowhere. And then I thought that they could do the antibody test after it went away. And then when I called my doctor after I was all better, they're like, oh, we're not recommending that test, or the provider doesn't, right? So in other words, my insurance wasn't going to pay for it. So I'm just assuming I had it. I had one day where they, how they said you couldn't smell and taste shit.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, that happened to me. And then I was for a week and a half or 2 weeks, I was sleeping 16 hours a day and just felt all run down. And
that might have been it. Yeah.
Yeah.
That sounds like it. We had, you hear nightmares about family gatherings and funerals, and basically we had some positive people at the funeral, and it's apparently progressing a little bit. It's kind of freaky, but the number of cases, like in June, I didn't know anybody except for somebody who knew somebody who knew somebody that had it, and now people all over that I know are starting to test positive. It's getting kind of freaky.
Yeah, we got a positive case at my work now.
Yeah,
but luckily they were tested when they were on vacation. But when I thought it, they tested positive on a Saturday. They got the results on a Saturday, but the last day of work was on a Monday. That previous Monday. So I was like, depending on what kind of test they did, I'm wondering when they were actually contagious, because it's about 4 or 5 days.
Yeah.
There's a possibility he did expose some people at our work.
Yeah, I went and got a test at the airport, and it was the slickest thing I'd ever been through, except I was really in bad shape with a depressive episode, and I had trouble using my phone to do it. But it was the slickest thing ever. They have like 2 lanes that say COVID testing going into the airport.
Oh, Tangelo's here.
Tangelo's here.
Hi, Tangelo.
Hi, John.
How you doing, man?
Great. I'm great. I'm having fun today.
You're not Tangelo. Who is you? Who are you?
No.
Jesus, John.
Okay, I'm not here to argue today. Okay, I'm just here to have a little bit fun.
It's for some reason
fight. No, I'm just kidding.
Is it really you, Otangelo? For some reason, it sounds like somebody doing a poor impression of Otangelo.
Have you been drinking?
Oh, no, I don't drink. Actually, only socially. So
I was going to say, it's a little early, isn't it?
I'm an alcoholic. Early doesn't factor in.
Well, it's quite fun today, Speed, because Leo is not here. That's almost a miracle.
Oh, yes.
Leo does. He's in the chat. I saw him.
Oh, Leo's up? Leo's awake?
I could have swore I saw him comment in the chat, but maybe
no, Leo. Leo's not awake yet. This guy's stable. So
right there, right? Leo Phileas at 11:38, he'd get eaten alive. John Maddox doesn't ever come here. He'd get eaten alive.
Really?
Yep.
At
11:38, right after Icarus comment. No direction, Icarus, then it's Leo Phileas.
Oh, Nicola's, Nicola's in here too. No direction. That's Nicola.
Yep. I may have to leave suddenly. I have a meeting coming up, but let's see. That's at 11:30. But I'm probably going to have to. I'm meeting a man in the backyard to sign some papers. Very shady.
That does sound pretty shady.
I was going to have him in the house because we have a really big kitchen and huge rooms. But my son said I can't have friends over anymore.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I'm kind of like fucking grounded.
Yeah, ever since you had sex in his bed, he doesn't like that shit.
So ever since COVID started eating half the family. Oh, yeah. I have kind of a interesting story about raising my children.
Right.
We were at a Kentucky Fried Chicken, standing in the parking lot, eating chicken. I don't know, chicken thighs or whatever, when they used to be really good. And they were about 13 years old, my twins. And my son came up to me and said, "Here, Dad, hold this." And he hands me his chicken, like a thigh. And I'm supposed to hold it for him. And I fucking hate that. And then he runs off to do something. I'm not sure what. But he came back, and all that was left was this bone, just like this bare chicken bone, which I had completely cleaned of all of his chicken, right? And he looks at me and is like, "What the fuck?" And I said, "Okay, remember this when you leave me alone with your girlfriend sometime in the future." And the look on his face was so fucking precious.
What kind of parent are you?
I was a wonderful parent.
Here's my Kentucky Fried Chicken story. When I was a kid,
they're talking about no, not high school Catholic girls in trouble.
If anybody remembers the push button transmission Valiant.
Oh yes, I do.
Yeah. Okay. my dad had one of those, and I don't know where I was only. I mean, I was 5 or less, and he stopped at Kentucky Fried Chicken to run in and get us all dinner, and left me in the car, and I started monkeying with them buttons. All of a sudden, the car's going backwards, and like across the parking lot from the Kentucky Fried Chicken was a grocery store, and I'm freaking out. And all of a sudden, I look up, and here comes my dad running across the parking lot. Like, I'm actually making the motion. I'm not even on camera, and I'm actually pantomiming it. But yeah, and he caught up to the car and jumped in and stomped on the brakes before it hit the wall.
Wow.
And then I think it wasn't too long after that push button Valiant, boom, it was gone.
Oh, one of my twins did that. My ex-wife left them in the car, in their car seats, and they'd never gotten out of their car seats before. And she went into the gas station because the battery was screwed up on her car, and she was afraid it wouldn't start again. So she just ran in there to get the attendant. And Dustin jumps out of his car seat, gets up to the wheel, and this is right next door to a big restaurant. And he puts it in reverse and backs down a ditch and hits a gas main.
Ooh.
And he was still at the wheel steering when all the people ran out of the restaurant, because it looked like, holy shit, this could have been a catastrophe. But it didn't blow up. But he dodged a bullet. But like you never know. There's always a first time that those little shits are going to get out of a car seat, you know. And they watch us. I mean, apparently they watched us drive because he knows exactly how to put it in reverse.
I just remember the time that my brother and I were actually in. My parents had an Oldsmobile. I think it was a Caprice, Oldsmobile Caprice station wagon, and my parents were at a car dealership of all places, and they were talking to the salesman. We were all, well, I think it was 4 of us kids that were in the car, but there was something wrong with the parking brake. The parking brake on that Oldsmobile didn't exactly engage all the time, so we were kind of on a little bit of a hill, and the car started rolling. Next thing I know, we see our parents running towards us. You know, we were just, chilling out in the car. And I think my brother and I were maybe like 5 or 6 years old, but I remember my dad just hightailing it over to the car. Says, "Oh shit, oh shit."
Yep. Kids.
But we didn't do shit. We didn't cause that problem. That was my dad's fault for not getting the parking brake fixed.
Yep.
All right.
You want to have fun, you got to have kids.
My wife and I attempted to. It never stuck. So
if you want to have
Really?
fun, you got to make kids.
Got to make kids, yeah.
Is that what you meant to say?
Something like that.
You have kids, John?
Oh, I see.
What's that?
Do you have kids?
There's like 10,000 dead ones in a sweat sock in my bedroom.
Jesus Christ.
Oh my God.
Figure as an adult male, you would have graduated from a sock.
No.
It's amazing. Once you do have kids, they're like, they like snatch your mind. I mean, they completely change you into another person once you have children. It's an amazing thing.
Yeah, my wife and I came close, but it got about 8 weeks, and then it petered out. Yeah. No heartbeat developed. So
what are you having fun with today, Otangelo?
I am looking boats here. I want to buy a sailboat.
Oh, nice.
Like for the bathtub, you mean?
No, my dream is to go sailing, to leave all you guys behind.
There you go.
You'll see. And Antangelo will have a satellite phone. He'll still be on arguing with Smokey by satellite phone.
Well, that's true, Jay. I mean,
dude, if you're getting on the internet to talk to Smokey while you're out in the middle of the ocean on a sailboat, dude, I'm sending the Coast Guard. I'm like, hey, dude, there's a deranged asshole on YouTube right now. He's literally in the middle of the ocean. What's wrong with this guy?
Well, I'm looking forward for stream. What is the name? Starlink from Elon Musk to be implemented. Then internet will be available wherever you are in the globe, and that will be fantastic on a sailboat. You can be on the middle of the ocean and just have fun on the internet. And
Don't tell Iger that. That'll be the next pandemic that he blames on technology right there.
Cool. I'd be able to move to rural Minnesota and a place where I could afford to live.
yeah, that's my big dream, buying a sailboat. I just have to convince my wife. That's the problem.
Oh, yeah. Well, forget that. That ain't happening.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe you could do a remake of that Robert Redford movie where he was all alone on a boat.
Oh,
Yeah,
dude, that's
that,
not a good. That's not a good.
No, that's not a good expectative.
Well, no,
That's
he
not a good
survived. I mean, he didn't
expectation.
die or nothing, but it was a pretty cool movie, I thought.
Yeah, that's
Oh,
a
is that-
nightmare for everyone. I mean, just recently, a $3 million yacht just did there was a container in the sea at night, and they had a collision, and the boat sank in Indonesia very, very short time ago. So, if that boat was not insured, then bye-bye $3 million.
Oh. Oh.
Ouch. Well, hey, I'm going to take off here, guys. So,
Yep, I think I am too. The best way, Otangelo, to convince your wife to let you buy a boat is to pull it home in a trailer, and she'll look outside and see the boat.
Yeah, we've seen a boat in Italy. It was too small. My wife loves comfort, so it has to be a big boat for her. So I have to search a big boat for her for she to give an okay.
Interesting. Anyway, I got a meeting coming up, so I'm going to have to end this and get off.
Your backyard meeting to sign something, huh?
Sign papers for a detective. Basically, it's going to be interesting. And transfer documents. Yeah. Have to meet him out on the step, and he's going to X the lines, put the papers on the step. I sneak in, sign them, bring them back out. It's very clandestine. This is some spy kind of shit we got going on.
Wow.
Anyway, yeah, pretty neat. I went out yesterday and had 2 exposures, basically. Getting documents notarized is something they haven't quite figured out how to deal with during the pandemic. You can't do that on Zoom.
All right.
Yeah.
So, tonight on Knox channel, Leo Filius is having a debate against somebody.
Oh, he is?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Do you know what time? Shit.
Like 8 Eastern, maybe. I think it's either 8 or 7, but it'll be up on the channel here at some point today.
Cell is having that hangout on quantum mechanics at 9:30 that I'm going to be on, but I'll try to catch a half an hour of it anyway.
And then somebody's having a discussion with Otangelo real soon from that room last night. I can't remember who it was. Maybe that was Leo too.
Otangelo, what do you know anything about that?
No, I will have a debate with Sigarte. He is a theistic evolutionist next week, next Thursday.
Okay.
And the 17th, I will have a chat with, what is the guy's name? Let me check here.
Yeah, I could have swore you made a date to talk to somebody on last night's stream.
No, I will have a chat with Howard Bloom.
I'm pretty sure, Otangelo, you told somebody last night that you were going to have a talk with him.
Well, I don't remember who you're talking about. I'm still waiting that Nock is making a new date for the sequence of our chat. He has not yet contacted me.
Has anyone seen Nathan Art on any streams lately?
No, I think the last time I saw him may have been on your channel.
Yeah, it's been a while. I think I emailed him and he didn't respond.
Yeah, you know what? I go batshit nuts when that happens, and it's like, and then it always turns out that it was just some innocent thing, you know what I mean? Like, because I'm like a worry wart,
Yeah.
so I can't get a hold of someone like thinking, oh, what the fuck happened to him, man? Like, what ditch are they laying in, you know, like.
Yeah, should I do a wellness check on Nathan?
Yeah.
The police bust your door down if you don't answer, basically. That's always a little nasty to do. I do that on my AA buddies all the time. If they don't answer the phone and answer the door for 3 days, they get a wellness check, which is basically officer knocking, and if you don't answer, they bust your door down.
I mean, hey, if you think someone's dead, you know, or in distress, like
every now and then that happens.
Especially in today's world, it's like,
yeah,
you got a phone in your fucking pocket. Answer your phone, you know,
right?
Like, whatever.
Yeah, Immutable, Walker, Leo, answer your fucking text messages. Jesus, how hard can that be?
Yeah, I mean, it's literally in your fucking pocket. That would be like James T. Kirk down on the planet, just ignoring his fucking communicator and saying, "Nah, fuck it, I'm not going to answer."
Yeah. There must have been an episode along those lines where he decided to ignore it and something bad happened or something. I don't know. Anyway, okay, guys. I think I'm going to cancel. But, Otangelo, if you let me know in advance when you're doing stuff, I'll plug it here on the weather report and stuff for you.
Yeah, it will be next Thursday, 2 Eastern time, I think. With Sigarte.
Hey, wait. Otangelo. Wait, now maybe help me remember. Maybe it wasn't you. Because remember when we were talking about, and you might have been gone by then, but we were trying to figure out what GMT versus West Coast was?
GMT versus
I'll let you know right now. That guy's time zone is just a moment.
+7?
Right. Somebody that said they were having, it must not have been Otangelo because he's in Brazil. So they gave the time as GMT, and then the person that was going to be talking with him, which might have been Marty, I don't know, had said, well, what time is that where I'm at? You know, we were trying to figure that out.
5 or 6 hours, depending for Central, depending on daylight savings time, right. Which always fucks me up.
Well, right, because when I first answered, I said, well, okay, so I'm East Coast, GMT's +4, and so it's going to be, -7 for you on the West Coast. But then Leo reminded me that the clocks had just, fell back. So it's GMT's +5 now.
No, nobody knows.
Like Psi is 2 EDT, and for me it's 4 in the afternoon. I am GMT -3.
Yeah. Oh, right now? Okay.
Well, where I am, it's 2:08 right now. 2:08 p.m.
Okay.
Well, so you must be near the Atlantic coast of Brazil, then, huh?
Yes, I'm in the northeast of Brazil.
It's 11:08 here.
Right, I almost got you pinned down, man.
Anyway, I think I mentioned the hangout I did on MathPig's channel. I'm not sure how I did. I was kind of in a zone, but it was interesting conversation about meaning and atheism and all of that, I think. And people should sign up for MathPig if you haven't. He's getting close to 1,000 subs. Interesting thing is that Smokey topped out at about 600 subs, and him and Maddox were neck and neck for a while. And then all of a sudden Maddox went ahead, and now Maddox seems stuck around 1,000.
Right.
And then if you look at Standing for Truth, he's been at like under 3,000 for, over a year. It's like, it's really weird. You grow in spurts and then you don't grow anymore. I don't know. I don't know if it means anything, but
usually I grow then spurt.
Yeah, I try, but it's hard. Well, no, sometimes it isn't, but I digress. What was I saying?
You left off on Standing for Truth, and yeah.
Oh yeah. Anyway, but it's interesting that Smokey is kind of topped out at 600. and he's not growing any further. Who the hell are those 600 people that are listening to him? Because I think we should all just kind of ignore him. I don't know. He's
Well, I am saying that all along, and that was my suggestion that he started all the thing of him against me when Nicholas forwarded my email to him when Joel was complaining about all the attacks that he was getting from Smokey. And I said, well, just ignore the guy, just stop to hang around at his channel. And then he started all his attacks. So I think that is the way to go, because he cannot be corrected. I mean, he will keep doing what he's doing with all the name calling and so on. So
yeah, and he seems to just love the attention, so it just goes back and forth. And
he was proud when we had our chat, and then he said, oh, I'm in 5 atheist channels. And I said, well, you should not be proud because they are all against you.
Yeah. Which I think he likes. But anyway,
it's crazy.
Yeah, he's kind of he kind of does the same thing over and over again. So he's kind of like a really interesting Jack in the Box, but you get tired of it after, you wind it up 4 times.
It's boring.
It jumps out and makes that laugh.
Yeah,
that would be a great toy. Do a Smokey laugh on a Jack in the Box. That'd be great. I could probably sell that.
Smokey, what? A Jack in the Box. Oh.
Yeah, and it comes out and it does that laugh. It does, his cackle laugh. He reminds me of the Wicked Witch of the West on Wizard of Oz.
Right.
I don't know.
So maybe we could get a hold of Ted Levine, and he could actually make a Jack in the Box with Smokey's actual head.
Oh, that would be great. and that hat with the Kurbana thing on
it. With the hat.
Yeah, with the I guess the logo on his hat was some sort of weed vaping thing or something. You weren't on the stream when Jay said that?
No.
Yeah, he looked at the logo on the hat and it said Kurbana. The picture in the sister whatever that Rage phone.
All right.
I guess take a look at the logo on the hat. It's interesting. It's another interesting piece of the puzzle that it was some sort of company that makes vapable weed in California or something. I don't know. Have to talk to Jay.
See my new avatar?
Oh my God. Now I'm confused. Oh no, I gotta go. Double Otangelo. Double rainbow.
I'm tiny head Otangelo.
Tiny head Otangelo. Okay, guys, I have to go now. Right. I do have a meeting coming up. So anyway, we'll see you guys. I'm gonna end broadcast. Goodbye, everybody out there.